We did a Kickstarter. Hey!
This is the end of the Kickstarter Wrap Up video.
Yeah,
Josh.
so they should definitely know we did a Kickstarter. And now we've delivered some of you your Kickstarter.
There's 90%. We got 10 people. 2 people filled out their surveys today.
By the time they watch this, even those guys are gone.
No, hopefully they're getting this today because it's May the 4th be with you.
We are all wearing Star Wars shirts today.
Yep.
Let's talk about this. We are going to unbox this Kickstarter box, which you may have already done, but some of you haven't. And then this video maybe will go on YouTube forever or something.
There you go.
It is the 5e starter set, Lost Minds, Hardbound Support, ArcKnight box. This is our first Hardbound Support box, and we plan to make more.
There's more
And
coming.
in this box is a bunch of stuff. So without even talking about what's supposed to be in here, let's just unbox our box.
This box weighs, with packaging, 5 pounds and 15 ounces.
Almost 6 pounds. First off, we have the minis that come in the kit. Can't see them too well on camera, but I'm sure we have other ways we can drop in images. This is a ton of minis. I believe it's 84 minis.
84.
And then we have objects in the back that are flat things that go down your map. So you get a whole package of objects and minis. You get the Dwarven Draugr Warband that has 10 Dwarven Draugr with transparent, semi-transparent, blackish, brownish bases that have 1 to 10 etched on them. So when you're fighting an entire pile of 10 Dwarven Draugr, you can tell which Dwarven Draugr is which one.
Because Tyler doesn't know what's a Dwarven Draugr.
What is a Dwarven? Do you know what a Draugr is? Do you know what a dwarf is?
Who's Tyler?
Who's Tyler?
Do you know what a dwarf that's a Draugr is?
Pay no attention to that man behind the camera.
Okay, he doesn't.
We have the same
Fancy
thing
zombie.
with 10 Twiglights. So they get 1 to 10 out of 10 bases. 10 Goblin raiding parties with a couple bosses and a bunch of regular goblins. And they have archer goblins and regular goblins. We have a 10 pack of Sturges, so you can sturge up all your sturging rooms.
Also 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Any sweet orange bases.
And then warbands are cool, but door bands are even cooler. They are warbands of doors. So door bands, obviously. And you did the coolest thing I've seen in this project is where you first etched the bases, and then you did well, you tell me what you did.
I
Like
dry
a
brushed.
stain and streak.
Yeah, so we started, the stone doors come with gray bases, and I dry brushed kind of over the top of them, and it gave them a real sweet stone pattern. Which,
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot closer.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I can reach that far.
So they end up being like brown bases, but they actually look like stone. And then for the wood ones, they look like a dark brown wood.
Yep.
You can't see anything in that glare.
Yeah.
But they're right there. In person, they look really cool. Let me just
Yeah.
describe it to you. Put on closed captioning. Looks really cool.
It looks really cool.
We'll try to get a high-end photo and drop it over the
Sure.
video. But we have a 10-pack of wooden doors and a 10-pack of stone doors.
And these are Kickstarter exclusives. And we will be selling the door bands themselves, but they will not be etched and they will not have the texture. So we wanted to give you guys who put in on this Kickstarter, made this thing possible, something a little extra.
Yeah, those bases are the best way possible.
Yeah, and these were took hours on the laser. So yeah, we are definitely not doing those bad boys anymore.
If we clean up the laser, maybe we'll laser more, but your streaking process, that's going to be its own weird thing. If you want to see more of James' streaking, you can just comment.
Woo.
We have our very own, what do you call these, mini folios?
Yeah, I don't want to say the...
Another company used to make a thing that used mini American pocket size for mini American cards. We found out they work perfectly for flat plastic miniatures. We started custom ordering them, and then they immediately discontinued them because Fantasy Flight Games moved on from their X-Wing fighter game.
Well,
And
they
so
still
then
make it, but man,
there
they
was-
tanked it.
But they changed the card size. So the mini American card size...
That's still...
Maybe I have the story wrong, but they just stopped making it. So we custom made our own. So this is the first version of our own mini folio that has the same card size sleeve, so you can put all your minis in there. Plus, if I can open this, I should, right?
You should.
It's worth
You
it.
own it.
The inner pages are all the mini American regular sleeve size, and the outer pages are using a custom assortment that we made ourselves where we have troughs and valleys. You can put really long pieces in, you can put a bunch of tall pieces in, and you have a ton more options. So that in addition to the minis that come in this pack, you can also put all your warbands, door bands,
And your
all
objects.
the crazy objects can all go in there. So this gives you a real carrying case that can hold everything in the set with this little rubber bandy band. And then all of your minis and all of your objects. will be in a nice little case.
And this guy obviously is custom wrapped with the art from Lost Mines.
Right.
So it's got all the main, not all the main characters, but a lot of the main characters. And
So in
cool
time,
art.
if we make a bunch of these hardbound support kits and we customize each of those folders, you might have 3 or 4 or 5, and then they're obviously correlated to what they are. We have a set of dice that is even custom chosen for this set. Look at that. So
And
the themed colors, obviously being this brown and green, we got brown and green sparkly custom dice.
Right. And we initially told you we're getting dice, but we threw in the nifty little bag because we don't want the dice just rolling around in there.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
So,
We made those green as well.
yep.
We get a pamphlet, field guide, that comes with the thing. And this is actually really cool because it explains every layout, every encounter, what pieces to use.
Where to stick, how to assemble the maps for
Right.
some of the more complex.
And the few places, there's some even, like, I wouldn't say a product plug like in an annoying way, but we might make a product that works really well to add on even more. And so we tossed in little notes of, if you did have this other product, you could get a little more out of this or go over there. And so there's a little bit of that. But there's a ton of cool things. And we even have some notes about, like, the community said, you should improve this guy by changing this, or you should make this fight like this. And we even put in some of those little notes that came from the Facebook groups, which is really cool. But this thing's beautiful. Like here, Drow Wizard, why does he have faded legs? Why do you have a Drider mini? Those are notes and suggestions from the community. So very, very cool. And now, the beginning of the monster. There are maps in here. Maps and maps and maps and maps and maps and maps. We have maps for every encounter. They're all modular. They all tile. They're all double-sided. Wet and dry erase with heavy lamination. And they're all coded. So if you don't know how to actually build something, the field guide will tell you how to build it. You can match the codes. But of course with our maps, the original ArcKnight maps were completely modular with common entry and exit points. We kept some of that logic, but obviously we had a specific adventure to get here. So some of them are designed to tile in a specific way, but they also work with our old stuff, where if you connect caves to caves or outdoors to outdoors, a lot of them make really cool combinations as well. So many cool things you can do with these. These things are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And then you talk about these map cards.
So the first iteration of this set had the town, which is I think in the second set of maps, but it only had the insides of the buildings, which was like, okay.
Let me show that. We created like a, it's the other pack.
Yep.
We created what was like a town builder because we wanted it to be really usable for the future. So with all these various maps, the idea was that you can drop a building over here, drop a building over there, and create this giant modular town, which if you oriented it the right way, would be the town of the adventure, but you could do any kind of thing.
Right. So we wanted to be able to go in the building, so what we made are these map layout cards, and I'm probably doing them wrong, but they allow you to basically, if you find each particular one, you can lay it directly over when your players go inside. Now you know what it looks like inside the smithy.
And again, it serves for both. You could take these map cards and drop them around a table and build a city, but you could also go up to this and say, I peek in the window, what do I see? And then you see the interior of the building. And so we made every single building interior for the entire town.
Yep.
And then we had a few more spots, so we made a few from the expanded adventures. Like we had the hut from the witch and stuff.
Yep, we got, and just, I mean, we even have blank buildings, so
you can put little stuff and dress
ready to go. Yep, there's.
And as
cabin.
a product, this is the first time we've made a map card, and this is a variety of sizes that were very specific to this module. I'm not sure how we would go about it, but I think one way or another, I love the idea of these map cards, and I think we might make an entire other product that are like a giant stack of map cards you can do a bunch of stuff with.
Sure.
Very cool stuff. I'll clean this up. So, and then you
all
have
of those. Hang on. And with all that, you're getting 3 envelopes to allow you to sort the maps and the map cards. So, say you know you're doing 2 part or 1 part of the adventure for that night, you just take it with you in your envelopes.
Right. If we shoved everything into one big envelope, it doesn't allow you to prep for that next adventure, that next night.
The next
So now
session.
you can siphon off the maps you need for the next session and put them in the envelope of your choice, because you have 3 of them. So let's do it however you want.
Put that off.
And we are actually creating these envelopes ourselves now. So we might be basically the only people in the world making 1117 art portfolio style envelopes. which is funny because when we originally got them, it was very, very hard to find them. And the box itself.
In the box.
He has never made a box before. This is a glorious box.
And the reason, one of the big reasons we did this, besides retail, is also. Come on, buddy. Like, we want it to go on a shelf. We want this to go on your gaming
Right,
shelf.
a
You
real
can
proper
see it.
shelf box.
You can see it like this is 12 inches this way, so it should fit on a standard shelf. But because you know, it'll be there for all your shelfies. Because I like to display all my nerds.
Especially when you have several. It'll look great when you have like
Yep.
4 or 5 of them and they're all lined up and they show the adventure.
Several. So you mean there's another one coming? Should we talk about it?
We knew when we started the Hardbound Support idea that we wanted to do a lot of them. And the Hardbound Support idea makes a lot of sense. And obviously we have to start somewhere. We got to get going. We have now done the starter set. Our eyes are now looking toward what's next.
The future.
The future. Actually, it's far, far in the future,
Whoa.
far, far away.
Far,
And
far in the past.
fitting for May the 4th.
Yep.
There is a new thing on the horizon that James has been kicking around.
Oh.
If he ever gets around to getting any work done.
Whoa, this guy. So, this should pretty much. Oh, there you go. I put them together right. This should pretty much tell you what's next. So
This is called, I think, Space Jam, right? It was a really big movie with LeBron James.
yeah.
And Dungeons and Dragons somehow got involved.
Right,
I don't
right,
know
yeah.
what the
they-
association is, but
So yeah, I think we're gonna call it Space Jammer. We're
Space
kicking,
Jammers?
We're kicking around names, but yeah, that's gonna be the next one. It'll
jamming
be
in
the-
space.
the
So
hardbound support for that.
the idea is similar to before, but built on the shoulders of the starter set having so much bulk pieces. We want to hit the most exotic specific things in this box, and obviously we want a turnaround time that's faster. So we're looking at the spaceships, we're looking at some of the special races and some of the special pieces, and then if you guys go stretch goal crazy and make us make more stuff, we will. But otherwise, we just want to hit those core things that you need: spaceships, and some more spaceships, and then go on to the next pack, because I think this is a great kit that can hit the bosses and the spaceships and the exotic stuff, and then move on to something else. I love what it is, and I also, not only do I want to have the big spaceships you can play on, and not only do I want to have the people you can play on, we're gonna make little spaceship minis as well.
Yep.
And
With star maps on hexes, very much like the second edition, which we're not allowed to talk about because some of us are old and bitter about that. But basically, it'll allow you to do ship-to-ship combat,
Yep.
which in the new product I think has about 2 paragraphs in it, which is kind of.
But we'll give you the support kit you need. So if you have star maps, you have gridding, you have little spaceships, you can drive them around. You can basically play X-Wing without X-Wing. And then when you get into a fight, you bring your big ships out and you can fight. So we're going to have all that support stuff covered. And actually, that's a good point. This gridding and this space map might just be better to have a table and cover it with space anyway. Because a lot of these products, we're making them for multiple purposes.
Yep.
You want them specifically for this game and adventure, but then you also just want a big star map forever. So, win-win, easy peasy.
Yeah, sounds good.
And it's already well underway. You have a bunch of ships already done. We have a bunch
Yep.
of art already done. So, hopefully, we can announce this, kick it out, and murder it.
I
Move on.
think we're announcing it now.
Well, there you go.
We'll officially announce it to other people, I guess, and give you some of the preview images. But we already have some of the art done for like the new races as far as PCs go.
A bunch of the minis are ready.
We're about to start hitting the bosses. We got 2, almost 3 ships done. So yeah,
With the objective being
underway.
a much faster turnaround between announce, launch, and then deliver.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to do the other stuff.
All right.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. This is the wrap up for the 5e starter hardbound support for the Lost Mines.